Deep within the remote wetlands of the Bangweulu swamps in northern Zambia, crocodiles have become a lurking threat that few outsiders have ever heard about. These ancient predators hide along the waterways, attacking livestock at night, destroying fishing nets, and even threatening the safety of villagers who depend on the rivers for their survival. For years, locals have tried countless solutions, building barriers, setting traps, and even driving the reptiles away with fire and noise, but every effort has failed against the strength and cunning of these reptiles. The problem has now escalated into a crisis, as communities are losing not only their herds but also their livelihoods, since the fear of crocodile attacks has made farming and fishing nearly impossible. How can these relentless predators be controlled before more lives and resources are lost? Perhaps the answer lies in hunting, and in the following section, we will explore whether this strategy might finally bring relief. Hunting crocodiles with a gun requires not only meticulous preparation but also nerves of steel. The vast wetland, home to some of the largest crocodiles in Africa, is a place where hunters must respect both the terrain and the predator they pursue. The best firearms for this dangerous challenge are heavy-caliber rifles such as the .375 HNH Magnum, .416 Rigby, or .458 Winchester Magnum, classic choices renowned for their incredible stopping power. These rifles are not only powerful but also dependable in the field, giving hunters the ability to penetrate the thick, armored skull and dense muscle tissue of a crocodile. Considering that a mature crocodile can easily grow longer than 15 feet and weigh more than 1,000 pounds, hunters must be equipped with a firearm capable of ensuring a decisive and ethical kill. Without such power, the animal can slip beneath the water's surface, disappearing forever into the swamps. When hunting crocodiles with a gun, shot placement becomes the most critical factor in determining success or failure. Unlike many other predators, a crocodile's vital areas are very small and heavily protected, demanding absolute accuracy from the shooter. The most effective targets are the brain and spinal column, located just behind the eyes, or the lungs and heart, slightly behind the front leg. Missing these zones may only wound the animal, and once it slips into the murky waters, recovery becomes nearly impossible. Crocodiles often bask along muddy banks, lying motionless in the sun, which provides an opportunity for a carefully aimed shot. Hunters often rely on scoped rifles for precision at ranges between 50 and 150 yards, though close-range encounters from blinds or elevated positions near the water are also common. Every shot requires patience, perfect timing, and steady hands, for in the swamps, mistakes are unforgiving.
pretty good. Okay.
Safety is another crucial factor when hunting crocodiles with firearms in such treacherous terrain. These reptiles are not only massive but also ambush predators with lightning-fast reflexes, capable of explosive bursts of speed both in water and on land. A hunter standing too close to the water's edge risks becoming the hunted instead of the hunter. For this reason, maintaining elevated shooting positions or strong cover is highly recommended. Local guides, who know the habits and territories of these crocodiles, are invaluable allies, helping hunters track and retrieve animals after a shot. Even after being hit, crocodiles can thrash violently, destroying equipment and creating dangerous conditions if approached too soon. Entering the water prematurely is not only reckless but could also be fatal. Proper planning, discipline, and respect for the predator are the keys to returning safely from such a hunt. Ultimately, hunting crocodiles with a rifle in the Bangweulu swamps is both a game of strategy and a contest of firepower. The swamp environment is harsh and unforgiving, filled with biting insects, unpredictable weather, and unstable footing that tests a hunter's endurance at every step. Crocodiles themselves are cunning and patient, often lying still for hours before making the slightest move. Hunters must be equally patient, waiting for the exact moment when the reptile exposes itself for a clean shot. While the rifle provides the advantage of distance and sheer power, success in this environment depends just as much on patience, determination, and respect for the prey. Every hunt becomes a test of both skill and character, reminding hunters why the crocodile is considered one of Africa's most formidable adversaries. Bow hunting crocodiles in northern Zambia, however, is an entirely different experience, one that pushes hunters to the very edge of danger and skill. Unlike rifles, bows require the hunter to close the distance, often within 20 to 30 yards, turning every step into a gamble against a predator that can deliver a fatal strike in the blink of an eye. For this challenge, hunters use high-draw compound bows rated between 70 and 90 pounds, paired with heavy carved arrows tipped with razor-sharp broadheads or specialized penetrating points. The difficulty lies in achieving maximum penetration through the crocodile's thick, armor-like hide, which can easily stop weaker equipment. This method of hunting demands not only physical strength but also iron will, for few experiences compared to standing so close to a prehistoric predator armed only with a bow. Stealth, patience, and precision are the lifelines of every crocodile bow hunter. The swamp amplifies sound, and even the slightest movement and arrow sliding across the rest, the creak of a bowstring can send the reptile vanishing into the water without warning. Hunters must master the art of silence, often waiting for hours in ambush or moving with painstaking care along the banks. The ideal shot is broadside, aimed at the lungs or heart just behind the shoulder. A well-placed arrow can be lethal, but unlike rifles, there is almost no margin for error. If the crocodile makes it into the swamp after being struck, recovery is nearly impossible. For this reason, bow hunting becomes a discipline of absolute precision, requiring complete confidence in both skill and equipment before taking a shot.
There you go.
It is not chosen for convenience but for the pure challenge and adrenaline it delivers. When comparing rifles and bows for crocodile hunting, the differences are as stark as the swamps themselves. Rifles provide safety, range, and certainty, allowing hunters to dispatch crocodiles effectively from a distance. They are the practical and efficient choice, particularly in the unpredictable and dangerous environment of Bangweulu. Bows, however, offer something rifles cannot: the thrill of primal hunting, a close-quarters battle of patience, nerve, and skill against one of the world's deadliest reptiles. Bow hunting is riskier, harder, and far less forgiving, but for those who seek adventure, it delivers an unmatched sense of accomplishment. So, which path would you choose? Do you prefer the power and assurance of the rifle, or the raw, heart-pounding challenge of the bow? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more gripping stories and wild adventures from the heart of Africa. In the dense forests of India's Western Ghats, leopards stand as both symbols of beauty and sources of relentless conflict for the local villagers. These elusive predators, once confined deep within the wilderness, have grown increasingly bold, venturing into farms and settlements, killing goats, cattle, and even attacking guard dogs that families depend on for protection. Entire herds have been wiped out in a single night, leaving households devastated and their livelihoods destroyed. Villagers have tried countless solutions, building stronger enclosures, using fire torches, and setting up noise-making traps, but the intelligence and persistence of the leopard have rendered these defenses ineffective. The problem worsens as leopard populations continue expanding into human spaces, causing daily fear and mounting financial losses. So how can this escalating crisis be resolved once and for all? Is controlled hunting the most practical solution? Let us explore this urgent issue in detail. Hunting leopard in the Western Ghats of India is one of the most difficult and thrilling challenges a hunter can face, a true test of both skill and courage. This rugged mountain range, draped in tropical rainforests and steep cliffs, offers perfect camouflage for one of the world's most elusive predators. The dense vegetation and limited visibility make each step tense, as hunters are always aware that the leopard may be observing them long before they catch sight of it. To confront such a stealthy animal, the choice of weapon becomes vitally important. Most professional hunters recommend medium to large caliber rifles such as the .308 Winchester or the .30-06 Springfield, both renowned for their balance between manageable recoil and powerful stopping force. These calibers provide the accuracy and energy needed to penetrate thick muscle and bone, ensuring that the hunter has the firepower to bring down a leopard swiftly, even in the breathless chaos of a close encounter. Leopards are masters of ambush, quick, cunning, and unpredictable, often launching their attack from hidden cover before vanishing silently into the jungle. In such conditions, hunters cannot rely on long-range precision. Instead, they must prepare for split-second decisions. This is why many experienced hunters prefer a rifle fitted with a low-power scope or even traditional iron sights over high-magnification optics. In the thick terrain of the Western Ghats, a 1-4x or 2-7x scope offers a wide field of view, giving hunters the ability to lock onto a target quickly the moment a leopard breaks cover. Here, speed and control are far more valuable than magnification, since the animal rarely remains exposed for more than a few fleeting seconds. A hunter who hesitates or struggles with a scope set too high risks losing the only chance at a clean, ethical shot. When it comes to shot placement, precision and anatomical knowledge are essential. Hunters are trained to aim just behind the shoulder, targeting the heart and lungs, the vital zone that ensures a quick and humane kill. A successful shot here minimizes suffering for the animal and reduces the risk of a wounded leopard escaping into the forest. However, seasoned hunters often emphasize that leopards are remarkably tough and resilient, capable of covering great distances even after sustaining severe injuries. Because of this, firing a swift follow-up shot, if the opportunity arises, is always encouraged. Developing the discipline of steady aiming and quick reloading under extreme pressure is not just a skill but a necessity for survival, as a wounded leopard can turn back on its pursuer with deadly ferocity.
Reload.
Done.
Yet, success in leopard hunting is never determined by the rifle alone. It relies on preparation, patience, and teamwork. Hunters in the Western Ghats often depend on the expertise of local trackers who understand the terrain and can recognize subtle signs of leopard activity: pug marks, scat, claw marks on trees, or disturbed livestock. Popular strategies include setting up blinds or waiting silently over bait, sometimes for hours or even days. The waiting game is mentally draining, as silence and stillness are vital, but the reward comes in a fleeting instant when the leopard finally appears. In that moment, composure is everything. Keeping calm, holding the rifle steady, and controlling one's breathing separates the seasoned hunter from the amateur, making the difference between success and failure.
Good shot. There you go. Watch your back. That's it.
Equally important is recognizing that hunting leopards in India is not merely an adventure, but an activity tightly controlled under strict legal frameworks. Leopards are protected under India's Wildlife Protection Act, and any hunt requires government-issued permits, typically granted only in cases where problem animals threaten villages or livestock. Hunters must act responsibly, respecting both the species and the fragile ecosystem of the Western Ghats. Conservation balance is critical. While controlled hunting may sometimes provide a solution to human-wildlife conflict, illegal hunting or overexploitation could drive this magnificent predator closer to decline. A true hunter respects the rules, the land, and the animal, knowing that every action leaves its mark on both the species' survival and the communities who share its habitat. What do you think? How should hunters prepare for such a fast and deadly confrontation in one of the world's most challenging landscapes? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay connected to thrilling hunting adventures, wildlife stories, and meaningful debates about how humans and predators share our wild world. On the dusty plains of northern Tanzania, hyenas have become an unstoppable destructive force against nomadic communities struggling to protect their livelihoods. Night after night, these cunning predators slip into villages, tear apart livestock pens, and kill goats, sheep, and even calves in terrifying raids that leave many families devastated and financially ruined. Farmers have tried countless solutions, building strong defenses, using guard dogs, and lighting fires to scare them away, but the intelligence and persistence of the hyenas always seem to prevail. The problem has escalated far beyond a simple nuisance. It has now become a serious crisis where food security, financial survival, and community safety are all at risk. With their eerie howls echoing across the savannah and their raids growing bolder each night, how can we truly stop this threat? Could hunting be the answer? Join us as we explore this dangerous challenge and the journey to find solutions. Hunting hyenas in Tanzania requires not only accuracy and patience but also a profound respect for the challenges these predators pose. At night, when hyenas are at their most active and most dangerous to livestock, hunters must be fully prepared for an encounter that demands quick reactions and steady nerves. Rifles chambered in calibers like the .308 Winchester or .30-06 Springfield are excellent choices, as they provide the power necessary to penetrate a hyena's tough hide and deliver a clean, ethical shot. Night hunting often involves the use of advanced optics such as thermal scopes or night vision devices, allowing hunters to detect the glowing forms of hyenas lurking along the edges of villages, livestock pens, or open plains. Remaining silent and concealed in blinds or elevated positions, hunters listen for the unmistakable cackling calls or rustling sounds that signal a hyena's presence. A carefully aimed shot just behind the shoulder, targeting the heart and lungs, ensures a quick and humane kill, avoiding unnecessary suffering, which is always the responsibility of ethical hunters.
I'm gonna shoot this, hold on.
Pick one.
Yes!
Night hunts emphasize the importance of preparation and a clear understanding of hyena behavior. Scouting during the day is often the most effective way to identify hyena trails, watering holes, or carcass sites they are likely to revisit after dark. Some hunters use motion sensor lights, baiting techniques, or distress calls to draw hyenas into range, though every method must comply with Tanzania's strict wildlife regulations. Because hyenas often move in groups, hunters must practice patience and discipline. Taking a single precise shot instead of firing wildly into a noisy pack increases the chance of success and minimizes unnecessary risk. The suspense of waiting silently in the darkness, listening to the echoes of hyenas calling to each other across the plains, creates an atmosphere of tension that makes the night hunt both thrilling and nerve-wracking.
Good shot.
Another critical element of night hunting is thorough preparation with the right gear. Hunters should always carry reliable lighting, backup batteries for thermal or night vision devices, and stable shooting rests such as tripods or bipods to ensure accuracy in the darkness. Hyenas are fast and unpredictable, darting in and out of cover, making a steady aim absolutely essential. Recovering a downed animal in the African bush at night brings its own dangers not only from other predators like lions and leopards but also from rugged terrain and thick brush. Hunters must exercise extreme caution, using powerful flashlights and working in teams whenever possible. Hunting hyenas at night is physically demanding and mentally exhausting, but it offers the advantage of targeting these predators during their peak hours of activity, when they are most confident, bold, and likely to cross paths with humans.
Is it down? The next one, one on the left. One more. Hit him again.
Daytime hyena hunts, while less common, present unique challenges and rewards of their own. On Tanzania's vast savannas and rolling grasslands, natural daylight provides clear visibility for spotting hyenas with binoculars and long-range scopes. Rifles such as the .270 Winchester or .308 Winchester remain effective, especially for long-distance shots that often exceed 200 yards. Hunters must stalk carefully, taking advantage of wind direction, tall grasses, and terrain features to remain hidden, as hyenas have sharp eyesight and can easily detect movement. Setting up near water sources, shaded rock outcrops, or well-traveled animal paths can improve the odds of an encounter. Unlike night hunts, where hunters wait for hyenas to approach, daytime hunts often require active stalking and careful positioning to get within effective shooting range.
Well done.
Tu vas voir.
Well done.
Day hunts emphasize both the benefits and the difficulties. The greatest advantage is visibility. Hunters can make precise shots, track blood trails more easily, and navigate open terrain safely without the challenges of darkness. However, hyenas are far less active during the day, often resting in shaded areas and conserving their energy until nightfall. This forces hunters to spend long hours searching the plains or working alongside skilled local trackers who know the habits and territories of the animals. Encounters are rarer and hunts slower, which can be frustrating, but when successful, the experience of outsmarting such a cunning predator beneath the African sun is unforgettable. Comparing both approaches, it is clear that each has its strengths and weaknesses. Night hunting maximizes success because hyenas are nocturnal, but it requires more equipment and safety measures. Day hunting offers clarity and easier tracking but fewer opportunities. So, would you choose the suspenseful thrill of a tense night hunt under the starry skies, or the challenge of a patient stalk across the savannah under the blazing sun? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more exciting hunting adventures.
Wait for him to stand.
No,